Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome Through the Glass, this webinar series or webinar cluster organized by the Alliance of Academic Health Centers International Latin American Chapter and TecSalud. Buenos días, bienvenidos. Buenos días, bienvenidos todos. Today we close this first series of webinars. And for me, it's a great pleasure to have Dr. John Alexander. Later, I will introduce him. Now, let me remind you that we are broadcasting this webinar through Facebook and YouTube. If you can share the links with your colleagues. And also later on, the videos of this webinar will be in those two platforms. Also, let me remind you that in order to get a certificate of attendance, you need to register in this link, or you can use this form to register your attendance to this webinar. Later on, we will put it again to register your attendance. So now let me introduce, for me, a great pleasure to have John Alexander Vergel. She's from a partner institution, member of Alliance of Academic Health Centers, La Universidad del Rosario. John, it's really a privilege to have John here. He's an expert on medical education. He is the academic director of the Master in Health Professions Education and the leader of the research group in medical and health science education in the Rosario University Medical School in Colombia. His main research interests includes curriculum innovation and the assessment of clinical reasoning, this core competence and this, skill that we need to develop, the clinicians we need to develop. He's responsible for supporting curriculum development and assessment systems. He has been member of AMI since 2015. For us, having John here in this series that is related to medical, the challenges in innovation in medical education at our academic health centers is extremely valuable to have John here. So, not taking more time of his presentation, Sean, welcome. Great pleasure to have you here. Really. Very good to see you, at least through video. Hopefully we meet in person again. John, the scenario is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Valdez. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. First off, I want to say a huge thank you for being here with us today. I'm truly grateful to the Alliance of Academic Health Centers International and TecSalud for the invitation for this incredible webinar series. And a big thank you to Dr. Valdez for your warm introduction. Could you please show us the visual? Thank you. So today we embark on an insightful exploration in our webinar. In this presentation, we'll dive into the dynamic intersection of artificial intelligence and educational assessment. This webinar aims to shed light on the transformative potential of AI in creating next-generation assessments. Our goal is to enhance learning outcomes, streamline assessment processes, and nurture an advanced educational ecosystem. We will discuss how AI-driven tools can provide detailed feedback on medical students' performance, tailor educational pathways, and adapt to the evolving needs of academic health centers. These centers are at the forefront of preparing the next generation of health professionals. And through this webinar, we envision a future where education and technology converge to foster growth and innovation in the health professions. Since the big boom of artificial intelligence with the launch of ChatGPT, there's been a lot of talk about what AI can do. But when it comes to how actually use it, especially in medical education, the details are a bit scarce. That's why today I'm going to share a story with you. It's about how we can use AI to create a kind of assessment system for learning, specifically for medical students during their rotations in surgical and clinical services. This system aims to clearly and reliably show how students are doing, making sure they are learning what they need to. In chapter 1, The Awakening of a Need, I start with the great challenge that set me and my team in motion, assessing medical students in a way that really shows what they have learned has been tough. We'll look into why and how AI and big data looked like a promising solution, offering new insights and better ways of doing things. Moving on to chapter 2, crafting the change of AI and big data. I'll take you through the steps my teamwork took to build and put in place an assessment system powered by AI. This isn't just any tool, it's tailored to understand the detailed learning experiences of students in different clinical environments. We'll talk about the teamwork and innovation needed to make the system a reality and how it stays true to our core values of enhanced learning while keeping that personal touch. In chapter 3, interacting with the chatbot, we introduce a key player in our story, ChatGPT. This AI guide help us to sort through loads of data to find valuable insights, making our education strategies even better and more personalized. We'll share how this experience show us the true value of AI in education, not as a replacement, but as a powerful helper that brings a new perspective to teaching and learning. That's our journey today. It's about how AI can transform the way we assess medical students in academic health centers, making it more efficient and insightful. I'm excited to share this study with you and hear your feedback along the way. Let's start with chapter 1, The Awakening of a Need. In the heart of our academic health center's missions lies a pivotal challenge that sparked our journey, a journey of innovation. This wasn't just about assessing student learnings, it was about transcending traditional boundaries to create a comprehensive information system, a system designed to illuminate the evidence of learning outcome achievements across the assessments students undergo during their clinical and surgical rotation. Our endeavor was to make these achievements visible, tangible, and transparent. We did embark in this path with AI and big data. Why did we embark on this path with AI and big data at our helm? The answer lies in the unique potential of these technologies to bring clarity and depth to complex data landscapes. But our story begins with the pressing need identified in the crucible of national and international accreditation challenges for our medical academic program. The task at hand was formidable to develop a system that not only showcases the metrics of students' achievements in a clear and documented manner, but also aligns with the rigorous standards of quality education. As we navigated the former accreditation process, external evaluators pinpointed a critical area for improvement. Our program needed an advanced system capable of displaying the learning assessment transparently, allowing for the tracking of students' clinical competencies in real time. This was not merely an administrative hurdle, it was a stepping stone towards achieving international accreditation, meeting the World Federation for Medical Education quality standards, and ensuring our graduates' eligibility for the Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. Such recognition is vital for our students aspiring to medical residencies in the United States. Motivated by this educational imperative, we assembled a visionary team. Our goal was clear yet ambitious: to harness the power of AI and big data in constructing an information system that not only meets these stringent accreditation requirements, but also redefined how educational achievements in clinical settings are documented and analyzed. This system was to be a beacon of transparency and efficiency, offering a panoramic view of student achievements and setting a new benchmark for medical education globally. This is our story of transformation, of how we sought to illuminate the path of learning assessment with technology, ensuring every milestone, every leap in understanding, and every nuance of a skill acquired by our student is captured and celebrated. Now let's move on to chapter 2 of this story, crafting the change with AI and big data. As we venture deeper into our mission, the blueprint of our journey began with a fundamental step: the creation of the curricular map. This wasn't just any map, it was a carefully structured plan that laid out the essentials categories needed to align our curriculum. This alignment was crucial, linking expected learning outcomes with teaching activities and assessment methods, ensuring each course was perfectly tuned to measure students' achievements in clinical and surgical rotation. Imagine now for a moment how we translated these integrate maps into something visually accessible. We turned to Power BI, a tool that brought our curriculum alignment to life through interactive dashboards. For example, take one of our pilot courses shown in these pictures. We were able to showcase the general learning outcomes defined across the curriculum, such as understanding socio-historical processes in health sciences or applying critical thinking in practice. These general learning outcomes, representing a mix of knowledge, skills, and attitudes, were now visible in a whole new light. But our journey didn't stop at mapping. The next phase was gathering data, a task that involved downloading a wealth of assessment results from our Moodle platform. Each student's performance, once hidden in spreadsheets, was brought into the open, stored in a SharePoint site for easy access. With all this data at our fingertips, Power BI became our canvas. Here, we didn't just analyze information, we transformed it into comprehensive reports. Using design thinking, our team brainstormed, prototyped, and tested various dashboard designs to ensure they provided a clear picture of student learning achievements. These dashboards weren't static pages of data, they were dynamic, allowing viewers to delve into general learning outcomes and see the underlying knowledge, skills, and attitudes and assessment reports that supported them. This process from curriculum mapping to data visualization. Data visualization wasn't just about leveraging technology, it was about breaking down barriers to understanding, making every student's learning journey visible and understandable. Our AI driven system, underpinned by the analytical power of big data, was merely a tool for evaluation of students' performance on assessments in clinical rotations. It was a gateway to a new era of educational transparency where every step of the learning process could be documented, analyzed, and even celebrated. This chapter of our story marks a pivotal shift in how we approach medical education. By embracing big data, we craft a solution that aligns with our educational ethos, ensuring our students' achievements are not just recognized but truly understood and appreciated. As we delve deeper into our journey, we encounter a transformative character, the chatbot. ChatGPT. Initially, I approached this AI-powered navigator with a mix of skepticisms and high hopes. My goal was ambitious to input spreadsheets of data and expect the chatbot to predict which students might be at risk of leaving the program. However, the reality was a stark contrast to my expectations. The chatbot at times produced errors and hallucinations, a term some authors used to describe AI generating incorrect or nonsensical responses. This confrontation with reality was eye opening. It forced me to recalibrate my expectations of what AI could achieve in our project. Despite the initial setbacks, this experience was far from being a dead end. Instead, it was a crucial learning curve that led me to adopt a more nuanced approach to interacting with ChatGPT. Guided by specific questions or prompts, I embarked on a qualitative analysis of our clinical courses dashboards. I sought to uncover patterns and inconsistencies in scores over time and across different assessments and students. I explored areas of strengths and improvement, looking for competencies where students consistently excelled or needed significant enhancement. I investigated connections between different types of assessments and learning outcomes, questioning if improvements in scientific understanding translated to better practical performance. Additionally, I examined how various teaching and assessment strategies impacted student competencies. Learning to communicate effectively with ChatGPT was pivotal. I began feeding it with dashboards one by one, more deliberately. With each response, I fine-tuned my prompts, gradually minimizing errors. This meticulous dialogue with ChatGPT eventually led to enlightening insights about our students' achievements over a specific academic period. The image in this slide showcases an example of the dashboards we use to engage with ChatGPT. For instance, one of the expected learning outcomes for medical students in their fourth year across courses like internal medicine, surgery, orthopedics, anesthesiology, pediatrics, gynecology and obstetrics, psychiatry, ophthalmology, otolaryngology, and neurology is coded as RAPRO6. This general learning outcome focuses on interpreting and integrating findings from the clinical history and physical and mental examinations, considering the clinical significance of psychological, spiritual, religious, social, and cultural factors to arrive at an initial and differential diagnosis. A very important learning outcome. During the academic period, the 396 students achieved this outcome with an average success rate of 86%, which aligns well with our expectations. However, there were specific cases of students who did not perform well in this competency. This other image presents a dashboard featuring our ghost chart that displays the overall average achievement of all general learning outcomes for all students during that specific time period, which was almost 80%. Additionally, it shows the average of each learning outcomes achievement through a spider chart. Armed with this comprehensive data, we engaged in discussions with ChatGPT to address our questions or prompts regarding students' performance in the clinical and surgical rotations offered at our academic health centers. For time reasons, I will not go into details here of all the conversations I had with ChatGPT. I just want to mention that it was a considerable time of 8 hours of questions and answers while I was learning how to use ChatGPT for these purposes. The conclusions were clear. Our students have shown significant competencies in key areas, underscoring the effectiveness of our curriculum and pedagogical strategies. Yet, the variability in performance highlighted the urgent need for personalized supports for students facing unique challenges. This report not only celebrates our achievements, but also lights the way for continuous improvement, ensuring every student reaches their fullest potential. Of course, this is just a small sample of the large amount of information that was generated in the conversation with the chatbot. Through this chapter, our narrative with ChatGPT transformed from a tale of initial disappointment to one of profound discovery. It told us that AI, with all its complexities, is a powerful ally in our quest for education excellence. It doesn't replace the human element, but enriches it, offering insights that guide us towards more personalized, effective teaching and learning strategies. As our tale concludes, we reflect on the journey through the lens of innovation and challenge. The integration of AI and big data in medical education is not the end, but a beginning. A new chapter where technology and human ingenuity converge to redefine the boundaries of learning and assessment. Our key takeaway is that the power of AI and big data lies not in their ability to solve every problem, but in their capacity to offer new perspectives, enriching our understanding and approach to medical education. Let this story inspire us all to embrace innovation. Given that we already have a way to track detailed achievement of student learning outcomes, now what's next is to leverage artificial intelligence to predict student performance even before taking assessments. Some authors have referred to this as precision medical education, inspired by precision medicine, which tailors diagnostic and therapeutic strategies to the individual patient's characteristics. Borrowed from the principles of precision medicine, this framework suggests that precision medical education should be proactive, personalized, participatory, and predictive. In precision medical education, we tackle the unique needs and challenges of individual students within medical schools. Precision medical education integrates longitudinal data and analytics to drive educational interventions tailored to the individual learner's needs and goals. But to achieve this, it's necessary to handle huge amounts of data from all student learning assessments, which in our case amount to nearly 3,500 students in total. Now it's possible for us to track this big data uh, with big data and artificial intelligence. My team and I dream of eventually being able to forecast students' performance well in advance and assist those facing academic challenges by tailoring learning strategies to their unique needs. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the glass as we look towards the horizon. Let's carry forward the spirit of innovation, collaboration, and curiosity. Together, we can shape the future of medical education for the betterment of healthcare worldwide. Now, I invite your questions, insights, and reflections as we continue to explore this exciting frontier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Very interesting and appealing talk. So we will get in some topics. Just let me remind the audience to register your attendance to this webinar series in order to get the certificate. They will put the link here. Please, people who is following us in YouTube and Facebook Live, please just register your attendance. Let me as we have been mentioning during the week, this webinar series through the glass is in order to share our best practice as members of the Alliance of Academic Health Centers, and I really appreciate that Sean, you share your experience and the experience of the entire institution, Universidad Rosario, with us in this really a topic in which this title that we use, Through the Glass, really becomes reality, because it's through the glass that we want to know more about the artificial intelligence. But let me, from the public, we have this question. John, Dr. John, you trust the medical interpretation of an X-ray to artificial intelligence, and why? I would say, I think the question behind is the artificial intelligence trustable? At least for the medical purposes, and later, if you can talk a little bit for educational purposes.
Could you repeat me the question, please?
Is trustable the artificial intelligence for medical purposes, in particular diagnostic? But also, if you can extend your comment or and talk about how trustable is for medical education, particularly, and try to do prognosis, for example, in the student performance for the future. That type of a question that we have in medical education.
Okay. We're using artificial intelligence in this project for understanding how students are doing in their clinical and surgical rotation. We are not using ChatGPT for diagnose or treat patients, but we can use it to gather data from students when they take their assessments, and then we analyze their performance and see which students are doing well and which students are not doing so well, so we can teach them more in order to achieve the competencies we want them to achieve.
Let me move forward because we have a lot of teachers and leaders of medical education here. Do we need to train in a new set of competencies the faculty in order to tackle the digital transformation and obviously artificial intelligence for medical education purposes?
You mean if faculty need to have competencies to use artificial intelligence in their teaching?
Yeah, in general, not just teaching, evaluation, feedback, and all the different functions that we have, because the European an European organization proposed a set of competencies for the use of digital transformation or environment. Do we need something extra, or what type of competencies besides of have more knowledge about the technology in this particular artificial intelligence? We need
Well,
something else. What is your experience, because you already have some work on this?
well, in my opinion, I think clinical teachers should navigate their educational questions with ChatGPT. But in my experience, I had huge hopes and expectations when I started this project. And then I realized ChatGPT wasn't what I expected to do to this project. I thought ChatGPT will solve all my questions, and I encountered a lot of errors and a lot of false information. So, I mean, it's not only necessary to acquire competences in using artificial intelligence, but also to acquire competences in critical thinking um, to analyze if the information provided by ChatGPT is true or false, and if it's useful or not useful for our educational purposes.
And and I have been making this question for different speakers. And due to all this technological transformation, digital transformation, incorporation of artificial intelligence in the process of education. And you show us the curriculum, and actually, Dr. Mildred Lopez the way you presented, or the way you visualize the curriculum. But
Yeah.
do we need to make some changes in the curriculum, and specific to incorporate this what I call the new basic science, education, communication, but the use of digital technology and all that? Do we need to change our curriculum?
Well, in my project, and in what we are doing now with artificial intelligence and big data, um, we are not changing the curriculum now. We are just understanding the performance of the students and what kind of educational strategies we could use to improve students that are not doing well in their clinical rotations. But the specific questions to integrate artificial intelligence in teaching the new basic science, I think it's the future of education. But we need to take in mind that artificial intelligence and technology is not an end. It's just a way to improve the things what we are doing now. And it also has problems, and it also could lead us to not good results. We need to take care of how we are using this technology into our teaching or assessment methods.
Right. As you say, artificial intelligence is now being used for, let me say, in the process of do a better medical education. And probably our students will get, once we keep moving forward in the technology, improve that technology, solve the mistakes that are already solved, the students will need to learn about it, use it, and teach us how to use it. I think they are very equipped in order to move forward. And in those days, in those future days, do you see artificial intelligence taking the place of the teacher in the most basic approaches, delivering lectures, doing questioning, or it's possible that we learn from, or we have an active teaching from artificial intelligence?
Well, I suppose so, but the interesting thing here is that we can use artificial intelligence to provide the students personalized education, which is called precision medical education, which is now a trend topic in our academic debates as clinical teachers. And I think it's not only artificial intelligence is not only a tool to help us to teach and to assess the students, but also to identify and to create plans to help the students who are not doing well in their assessments. And I think that's a really interesting topic of debate in the future and for doing projects to improve medical education.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that this approach that you proposed of this mindset of discovery, I think we need to keep it, because we will still discover more things in which we can use artificial intelligence. But I love this concept of a more personalized approach to the student journey, how he moves through the curriculum, how he incorporates the knowledge, the skills, even the wisdom of being a good clinician or health professional. This is open to all of them. So, because we are getting close to the time, just in this approach that you have, in this particularly, and some people send me photos of your slide of this, moving from disappointment to a great discovery. Can you talk a little bit more of your experience in that transition of approach or experience on that?
How we envision what?
This sense of discovery, how you keep moving forward, how you have to say, cómo contagias a los demás, I will say in Spanish, of this sense of discovery of with artificial intelligence, and avoid the fears that we have, or some people may have.
Well, these results are really news. I just showed these results to my boss yesterday, and now I'm showing you these results today. And I hope next week to have a meeting with the chiefs of the clinical departments at our hospital to show them the results of all the data we analyzed with almost 400 students in the last semester. And I hope they can be engaged with this project and help me and my team to continue developing this technology, which is expensive, and it needs a lot of resources, human resources, and financial resources to develop. And we envision this topic of research to continue producing, for example, papers or more conferences like this one, to show more educators the benefits of using AI and big data in medical education.
Thank you very much, Sean. We are approaching to the final time. So I really, really want to thank you. Muchas gracias to share your experience. Always a pleasure to hear you, but not just a pleasure, a very enrichful experience. I always learn from you, Sean. I'm sure that the audience also is learning. A lot of congratulations. Adriana Aldaz from Campus Guadalajara Tech, Dr. Mildred Lopez. I share some of the thoughts is that the students will have a great time to be because of these great technological advances. I think we share that vision that the future is very promising in that sense. Just remind the audience that fill the form for Racer for the attendance to get the diploma. And also I want to thank the Alliance of Academic Health Centers International, the AAMC, for allow us to have this webinar cluster here in the Latin American chapter with our partners, Universidad Rosario, Jesse Javeriana, Sao Paulo, Monterrey Tech, and our guest, Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile. It has been a very rich week. Thanks to the experts like John. We really thank you because allow us to feel really to get feel our purpose, that is to share. That's why we are an alliance of academic health centers, and we want to share the practice. And not just among us, we have a lot of guests from Brazil, from Argentina, we have from Chile, Colombia, also from Canada and Mexico. Remember that this will translate it from, if the talk was in Spanish, we'll translate it to English, at least in subtitles, and also from Spanish to English, English to Spanish. So I want to thank also the production team, the people who is behind, is backstage, helping Veronica, Evelyn, and Pau, all the people, Chris and April in the main office of Academic Health Centers International. Thank you for all the support. And we wait you in April for a new webinar series through the glass. Thank you, our speakers. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice weekend. It's Friday. Let's go. Gracias. Obrigado. Thank you.